Hey gang, welcome back to Jenkins Locks. I'm Don. I'd actually already done this video once. This is going to be kind of a non-locksmith video. But I realized that when I talk and I'm thinking, I pace a lot. So I didn't want you guys getting motion sickness. So I'm in the shop. It's Sunday. Normally Sundays I come through. My shop is appointment only, usually evenings and weekends, and Sundays are pretty dead, so I go through and try to straighten up inventory, whatever's come through for the weekend, and as far as orders. But before I really got cleaning up, I wanted to reshoot this video so you can see the disaster that this is. And this isn't about keeping your shop clean, how to organize, anything like that. This is more of I've gotten a lot of emails and questions on forums and stuff like that. And how did I go from opening a business to a few months later having a shop? How much debt did I go into and stuff like that? So I filed for my business license, and the business opened September 1st of 2000. Yeah, 2000. And I kind of farted around for several months, just as family and friends, and then friends of friends asked me to start doing jobs, and hey, give me what you think's fair, stuff like that. I started amassing a lot of inventory, and I quickly outgrew my home office. And to this day I still have not done an advertising campaign. I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for Yelp advertising, Google advertising, anything like that. So this video I kind of wanted to go through without touching my personal finances, because I still have my IT day job, without touching the money from that, or as little as possible, not affecting my budget, anything like that. I really wanted, if this was going to succeed, it was going to succeed with as little impact on my personal finances as possible, and it was going to succeed on its own, or it's going to fail on its own. So what I've done as jobs have come in and money has come in, I reinvest pretty much 75 to 90% of that back into the business. And with being new, with starting out, that's not a very large amount. So the other thing I've done is I thrift. And what I mean by that is I go to Goodwills, St. Vincent de Paul's, thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets, stuff like that, in spare times, and I buy stuff such as this VCR. Here's another VCR, DVD player, 5 or 6 disc DVD/CD changer. And I don't do just electronics, but what I do is when I find something at a good price, I do my research and I find out what I can sell it for online, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, what have you. And if there's enough of a difference in what I buy it for and what I can sell it for, I get it, and then I list it in multiple places and ship it out, or people can come by and pick it up. Actually last weekend, or the weekend before, I was actually working a job just across the street at the community center. Person contacted me on Facebook. I had a late 70s, early 80s Pioneer amplifier, receiver, back when stereos were separate component pieces, and it's something I had bought for very little, and ended up selling it for 7 or 8 times what I had paid for it. And they were local. They came, picked it up, and the money went through eBay. So that's kind of how the combination of getting more and more jobs in locksmithing and investing that money into the business, and taking some of that money and thrifting, and then the profits I make for that, investing back into the business. The thrifting part alone, a few months in starting out, has paid for the rent and electricity here. But it's also allowed me to do things like go from, this Defu Banggood special, which I think I've maybe successfully cut a handful of keys on without destroying the blank, to something like this. Now, I'm not going out and buying, top of the line. I'm buying something I think will serve me for the next 3 to 5 years. Or if that's not a reasonable expectation, something that can at least make enough money to help pay for an upgrade. For example, and I told you guys this place is a mess. This is another Banggood special. Mechanically, engineering-wise, it works. I honestly think this was about $150, maybe a little bit less. Yep, there was a pain in dialing everything in, sacrificed a few blanks, upgrade the wheel, and I do weekly maintenance on this just to spot check if that $150 machine is still working for me. And so far, out of about 7 months, it hasn't disappointed me. But then in taking, money from Reking, auto locks, whatever, investing in blanks. As you can see, I've got a lot of space still. And I don't go for the, $500 startup kit. I go for what, if someone calls and asks me about a blank, then I make sure I get a blank, and plenty of them if I don't have them in stock. And I also know the automotive kind of universe in this area. We have, within an hour's drive, you mainly have Ford, Chevy, Jeep, Chrysler, and Toyota. So Ford, Chevy, miscellaneous, Nissan, and Chrysler. Well, Toyota too. That was kind of my start off kit. And how I came to that was basically going to Walmart, riding around the local communities, and just seeing what the bulk keys or bulk cars that I spotted. So if I see the same model of car 20 times in one day, then that's one of the blanks I'm going to have. And just piece by piece, as the thrifting comes in, the money from that comes in, as money from locksmithing comes in, just keep reinvesting that into the business. And honestly, everything in here is paid for, with the one exception of this guy. But in the couple months that I've had this guy's already paid itself off. So the one thing I financed, because it was an open box deal I got, so it was like 60% of the original price. I did finance that because it's still quite expensive, at least for me. I don't have $1 to $2 grand to just whip out of my bank account and pay it off and be good. So that definitely, being able to be a mobile auto locksmith, having that ability to go to customers so they don't have to have their vehicle towed to a different locksmith, paying a huge amount for that locksmith to come to them, or towing it to the dealership. That has really taken off. And it makes its own payments. So far to the fact that I am paying ahead on it. And then it also allows me to do things like, normally in several of my videos, people call me out on the fact that, hey, sorry, I'm testing new camera, new microphone, whatever. In doing this, I recently upgraded to a GoPro 9 Hero Black with the media kit. And after several failures, got it to work with the Simco wireless mic. Instead of the Banggood Walmart brand action cameras, or this guy, Amazon's top choice. This, I can't knock it too much. Battery life on these suck, but it does a really good job if there's absolutely no motion. It doesn't have a actual zoom. It's a software-based zoom that sucks. So if you do any type of zooming, it pixelates everything. It does do 4K, so 4K stationary, amazing. It's really good if I put it in a mount over a desk and work that way. But any type of movement, it just sucks. So, and getting back on point, talking about the disaster. So, I've already pointed out some VCRs. Another big seller I have is remotes. I've got a university an hour or two away, and they have a reclaim shop where they sell their overstock, replaced computers, stuff like that. And believe it or not, remote controls are actually a good business. What I can pick up for $1 or $2, turn around sell from anywhere from 20 to $100, depending on what it's for. So it seems like I do a lot of electronics. That's just where my knowledge is more based. VCRs, for you younger viewers. Back before streaming and the interwebs, we used to have to go to this place called a gas station and rent VHS tapes. So the reason these are so in demand is that they stopped making them. And you still have a large generation that still has the home VHS tapes, home movies, stuff like that. You know, I've even got people contacting me asking if I got Betamax players. Yeah, I'm dating myself because I actually had one once. So I get these, and just for example, okay, this was $12.59. I bought it when it was the color of the week, so 50% off. So $6 something. Bring it here. I'll test it. Which there should be a video of me battling getting this thing in soon. Or actually, it's already been taped. I'm not good on scheduling, so that may already be up, or may be coming up soon. Anyways, when I'm here, I really don't have radios playing or anything like that, because I'm usually in, out, or I'm trying to knock something out real quick and get back home. This thing I picked up for $20. An older lady had upgraded her bedroom TV. This thing looks like she basically took it out of the box, put it on her dresser or whatever, used it for several years, and then sold it to me for $20. She was actually just going to give it to me, just to get it out of her hair, but, you know, I don't believe in just taking things. But I actually had to look for this one because it's old enough that it has the RCA, these wires, new enough it's got HDMI, coax, it's got a computer connector. So that will now allow me to test this stuff here instead of taking it home, bringing it back, and putting it in my storage, which is on the other side of that wall. So I'm going to pause it here for a second because I'm getting a battery light. Apparently I did not charge this. So give me just 1 second. Okay, slight technical difficulty. I do like the ability this GoPro Media Mod gives you to add the external microphones and stuff like that. It is a pain when you have to change a battery because you have to take the handle or the tripod off, fold the little flaps up, open the side of the Media Mod, take the whole camera out, swap the battery, and then rinse and repeat. So real quick, it's a little brisk. I think it's about 19 degrees. So welcome to the outside of my building. Give me 1 second here to now the front of the store itself actually looks clean compared to what this does. So this is actually the back of the building. They recently put this nice carport in for the post office. Unfortunately, the post office and employees now take up all the parking. So during the week when I'm here, it's kind of a pain. But luckily, the post office is only open for a few hours a day. So this can be part of what I'm tackling today. Boxes. That's another thing I wanted to point out. Even though literally my post office is right there. This post office, if it's a bigger post office in either of the 3 towns surrounding me, they only stock a few common size of boxes. So, and here's a tip if you do want to do thrifting. If you go to USPS.com and go to shipping supplies and then sort by free, you can pick all sorts of USPS provided boxes, 100% free. They deliver them for free. So, and I mean, I can go on to a couple hour tangent on this. Do some YouTube searches. There's a lot of good guys with thrifting tips like Harry Tornado, Osborne to Thrift, those guys. But besides just priority boxes, there are like Region A and Region B boxes. Pretty much same size box, a little bit lower weight restrictions. I think a regular priority box you can ship up to 150 pounds. Region A you can ship up to 70 or 60 or something like that. But normally in that size box you're not fitting unless you're putting like dumbbells or something. So definitely, if you're going to do this type of thing to infuse an alternate revenue source, shipping is a large way to either succeed or die. So with that, you see I've got tables back here where I can test. Some recent pickups. Oh yeah! More remotes, boxes. I think that's a Mac computer. This I haven't listed. I know my mom's had her printer for a couple years now, so she's about due for one. This was never opened. I opened it. And I do need to get in here and organize, but you can see, you know, receiver, old component. This is VCR DVD combo, DVD CD changer, more of that same type of stuff, novelty fun stuff. So really the thrifting is just something I take an educated guess on what I'm going to pay for it and what I can make off of it. For example, probably about 2 months ago, I went in and it's a local thrift store, and I saw a pair of big ass binoculars. Didn't know anything about them. They're 15 bucks, so I bought them. When I got home, did a little research. They're filled binoculars, and I sold them the day I listed them for well over half my rent. So, but this does take time. This does eat into things as far as time. And then you make a bad guess, something you think that's a niche old market, like this old projector. Pay like $5 for it. So if it sits here for a year, I'm not really going to care. I'm not going to care. New Wave, I think I got that for like $7. And I just sold one I got for, I think 10. I sold it for $100 or so. So all that profit, so if I paid $10 for it and I sold it for 100, that's $90. You could ask about shipping. I always put unless it's like a remote or I even sell patterns. If it's something like that, it's only going to be like $1 to ship or $2. I do that free shipping, but everything else, measure, weigh. Got my scale here, so I can box it up, and I'm behind on it, but usually I will box these up ready to ship with some sort of notation on it, so I know, okay, this one is the one I sold. Do this. At home I have a Rollo label printer, kind of a pricey label printer. I think it's about $300, but it's thermal, and you don't have to use Rollo specific labels. Zebra or Dinos or those guys, if you're not using their OEM labels, it's a lot of issues. The Rollo doesn't care as long as it'll actually scan the size of the label and adjusts. Print it at home, tag it, and either drop it off here at the post office, or if it's UPS, I do it at the Mercantile right up the road, the local hardware store. If it's FedEx, I gotta find a FedEx place. Not a fan of FedEx. So weekends, cleaning the store up there, and going through what I purchased. Now I am actually several weeks behind just because I've been so busy on the Locksmith side. That today I will be going through inventorying, taking photos, stuff like that. And if I do that once every couple weeks, and I have 100, 200 listings, the odds of bringing enough money in to cover what I paid for those items, and turn this, make sure I got my keys. As long as I can cover what I paid for the items, shipping, all that money goes right back into the business. So let me pause it here. No, actually, get this locked up. Go back up to the heat. So, it's something I've been able to pick up and do. There's plenty of tutorials online on how to successfully thrift. And it's kind of fun because sometimes you do find items that, while you're thrifting, that are really a good bargain for you. Which, I'll give an example. Let me put this up here so that I don't make you guys sick by pacing. So in thrifting and looking, spending a huge amount of time on eBay. My payment system that I use is Pay Anywhere. It's cheaper than Square, PayPal, Apple Pay, and they give you a free little credit card reader, which I think is in my truck. Connects Bluetooth to your phone. The free one I think only does the strip and the chip. And you can go in and set your store up however you want, or your payment system. You can do inventory on it and all that good stuff. But you can't do a receipt. I gotta watch myself. I keep catching myself saying so sorry. The receipt you can do that way is either via text or via email. See, I caught myself in an area where people still want that paper receipt. Okay, that last time wasn't my fault. I actually had someone come in. So, on Pay Anywhere site, you can get this remote terminal. It does contactless, chip, stripe. This thing will take 2 different SIM cards, so if you're in an area where you cross over from one good cell carrier to another. And it's got a printer right here. So I can take this with me. It's touchscreen. Pay Anywhere gave you the option to either flat out buy it for either $300 or $400 and it's yours, or you can rent it for $10 a month for eternity. I found that guy on eBay for $35. Excuse me. Got it, contacted Pay Anywhere. They said it was locked to another payment company. So PAX is the company that makes the device. I reached out to them. They told me who it was locked to. Contacted their support. They had it unlocked and removed from their system in about 10 minutes. So then I contacted Pay Anywhere, gave them the serial number, all that good information off of it. And within a half hour, it was downloading all their software. So right now it's on a Straight Talk SIM card. Fortunately, I found out the device is AT&T based, that type of carrier signal. My personal and shop phone are Verizon, so Straight Talk right now is the way I'm going. But definitely shopping around. Maybe there's a cheaper AT&T, T-Mobile, somebody. Luckily it is 4G, so it's not getting ready to get cut off. But so from buying equipment, from thrifting to actually locksmithing, it's kind of a huge kaleidoscope of what I've done to fund, whether it be directly from locksmithing or through alternative revenues, to fund everything and to put some nice personality based themes in the shop. Again, damn it, I gotta stop doing that. So it's a lot of work, but if for me, wanting to make a good run at actually starting a business, owning a business, having the retail space, even though it's more mobile than retail, but this is kind of what I've done. For example, my desk and chair were a Goodwill find. Listed for $15 for the pair. Went in on Color of the Week, got it for $7.50. I think this stand here was like $2. And HP, where is it? Here we go. HP LaserJet Pro 400 color. Came with completely full toner cartridges. There are 4 of them, which would be very expensive. But hopefully that shows up there. $30. The only problem with it is one of the rollers inside had come unclipped and was bound. A couple of YouTube videos, fixed it, and now it works like a champ. Because it would have been several $100s. So my ultimate methods of infusing money into the business, being very conscious and shopping around for the stuff I buy, allows me to do things like go from this eBay pinning kit I got for like 25-30 bucks. Reeks of cat urine. Even a year later, it still stinks. To being able to just go out and, when it's on sale, buy a nicer kit like this. So those are all the tangents, all the streams of bringing money in, spending money wisely, that I've done in the last year, really the last year hardcore, to go from just opening a store, having some business cards printed, throwing up a website, email address, what have you, to having a retail space. Some of you out there are probably saying, well, what are those doing in there? I have people who stop in here just wanting a $5 lock. There you go. Keep those on hand. When people are wanting to change out quality hardware, I do a free assessment of giving them options, and ordering specifically what they're wanting. I do have some higher grade locks that I keep in my truck, but you know, sometimes people just want dirt cheap. Black Friday, I think I spent a total of like 40 bucks getting those. No, not 40. I've actually gone through a few of them. I got like a dozen of them. So whatever Home Depot was selling them for dirt cheap Friday. And those have been sitting there since Black Friday-ish time. What you don't see is empty box, Home Depot clearance, $5. Yeah, that's a different one. So I thrift, I scrape, save, and just keep pushing that money back into the business. Oh, here's another one that got tucked away and I need to get listed. Picked this up for, I think, $12. So that'll go on, and hopefully that'll bring in more profit. Worst case, hopefully I just break even. Worst case, it sits on a shelf for a year. So anyways, I hope this helps some of you guys out there who are looking at starting your own company, starting your own business, and are wanting to work your way towards having your own van, having your own retail shop, what have you. And get your brains thinking, gets the creative juices flowing in how to raise that revenue without maxing out every credit card, without taking out big loans. So I'm interested to hear your guys' comments, complaints, and whatever you guys feel like sharing. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you next time.